Hello and welcome back to my channel. Follow along as I show you my favorite drugstore and luxury brands. First, I'm using e.l.f. for holding brows in place and giving some structure. After, I'll use Giorgio Armani's Hydrating Primer. This primer has a high content of glycerin, which will provide a barrier between your skin and the makeup. Here, I'm using Chanel's Essential Balm Stick in Sculpting. This balm has 3 types of synthetic wax, which seal in your skincare and provide a perfect base for concealer. One swipe underneath your eye will be enough. Next, I'm using Giorgio Armani's Luminous Silk Foundation. Here, I'll be mixing it with the Fluid Sheer Liquid Highlighting Drops. This foundation is water-based and has microfill technology. Here I'm using Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Finish brush to smooth the product all around my complexion. After using the brush, I will pat out any streaks with a velour puff without any powder on it. Here is e.l.f.'s Halo Glow Liquid Highlighter, which is a complete dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Filter. Using a deeper tone to warm my complexion like a bronzing liquid, I also add a little bit of foundation in the mix. This creates an airbrushed effect and looks very flawless. You can achieve a sculpted and contoured look with this method just by going over the cheekbones and to the temples and a little bit along the forehead where the natural sun would kiss your skin. Don't forget to contour under your chin and jawline as well to achieve that extra sculpted and contoured look. After everything is blended together, add some setting powder. In this case, I'm using e.l.f.'s HD setting powder. Pat on the powder with a powder puff in a patting motion. Applying the powder this way is called baking, and placing a generous layer of the powder on the high points of the face will help to define the sculpting effect. And now on to eyeshadow. Using this modern Marilyn palette, I'm mixing the white and yellow to smooth a nice bone color all over the lid. You can also use a foundation powder for this step. I often use my MAC Studio Fix. Here we have Baby Got Bronze by Essence Cosmetics. This product is one of my favorites. It's a contour stick that smells like watermelon. This little contour stick is the most perfect color for fair skin, and they do have other options as well. So look for one that suits your skin tone best. Here I'm using it to sculpt my nose, but it's also perfect for chiseling cheekbones or adding that chiseled effect to the jawline, especially since on fair skin, most colors will look bronzy or orange. Here I'm using Revlon's Micro Brow Pencil in 456 Dark Brown, but I've recently found a better pencil by e.l.f. It's half the price and it's a little bit firmer, which helps when defining the individual hairs, especially since the eyebrow hairs have follicles and they do produce their own oil. If a brow pencil is too soft, it can blur together and take away the individual definition from the lines that you've created. Take your time drawing the individual hairs and remember that your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. You're just trying to achieve symmetry and so that both look even and provide a nice lift to the face. Don't become too focused on any one part of the eyebrow. Just work slowly with the tiny hair strokes to build the brow into the shape you desire. Brush the hairs up and out in between steps and as well at the end. You can also add a coat of eyebrow gel. This palette is by Flower Nose. It's the Mermaid Fantasy palette and contains the perfect contour color that mimics the same tone as the Essence one. I'm using it to define the crease of my eye and also to reinforce the cream contour that I added before. Now it's time to curl my eyelashes and add a coat or two generously of the Dior Show Lash Primer. I swear by this lash primer. It adds the perfect amount of volume and length to your lashes. As I allow my primer to set, it's time for concealer. Here is one of my most luxurious products, Chanel's Sublimage Corrector for Eyes. This concealer is extremely pigmented and very creamy. As soon as you set it down, the skin seems happy, bouncy, and radiant. I add it in this upward motion to give a lift and then blend it out. I like to use the heat from my finger to blend this product out, and tapping will allow me to concentrate more of the pigments and build even more coverage. Continue adding more layers of coverage until you've achieved the brightness you want. Before your concealer has had a chance to crease, go ahead with a fluffy brush and set it with a translucent loose powder. Now for a fresh angelic touch, in the inner corner of each eye and under the eyebrow, I'm going to add the green hologram eyeshadow, as I've found it gives the most contrast and looks the brightest. I'll also add a hint of it just down the center of my nose. Now I'll add this NYX Born to Glow highlighter on the tops of my cheekbones to catch the light and add a nice base for the blush. Here is an NYX Born to Glow blush bronzer duo that I am absolutely obsessed with. I love to layer it with just a touch of this Essence Pure Nude Baked blush that easily compares to the most high-end blushes on the market. Next, I'm going to use my NC15 MAC Studio Fix powder to soften any of the blush and highlighter that look a little too artificial. I recently glue gunned that butterfly onto the compact. Here I'm also using the contour stick from Essence again to chisel my jawline even further. Onto the eye makeup, I'm using this dark brown Chanel liquid eyeliner to trace the inner corner of my eye. This eyeliner is extremely pigmented and I only need a tiny bit just to darken the inner corner. The formula wears well over the day and doesn't crack. Tracing the rest of my eyelid with this Essence liquid ink liner. I love this brush. It's perfect for this precision tip. Tilt your head back and look into a handheld mirror to help prevent over blinking and to help achieve that precision. Try a combination of drawing inward and outward to fill in your wing. And on to mascara. This is a big brush. This is by YSL and it's called Lash Clash. The formula is very rich and adds instant volume, especially on top of the Dior primer that I had prepared earlier. Tilt your head back again and look into a handheld mirror, blinking a few times into the brush. And now onto lip liner. This is one of my favorite lip liners by Essence. It's called Rosy Nude, and it's a nice, gentle, fresh pink. Smile slightly and tightly as you trace your lip line and try to find the symmetry. First, start with your Cupid's bow, then extend to the outer part of the lip, and then bringing it back into the center. If you're really looking for a long-wearing lipstick, try this Chanel 40 Light Rose Long Wear Ultra to New Duo. I just used the smallest little bit in the center of my lip, using the doe foot applicator to feather out the color, then blending softly into the lip liner. Let the formula set as we add the eyelashes. With Duo Glue, I'm going to trace the band with it pinched in between my fingers, gently maintaining the curvature. Tilting my head back and looking into a downward mirror, once again, I'll place the lash in the center of my eyelid, then anchor the end, and then the inner corner. Press it gently as it adheres, and blink if you need to. You will truly get better with practice. And to finish off the complexion, let's use a little bit of the Studio Fix powder just to tap onto any blemishes. If you have a blemish that's in the area where your blush is, I recommend to tap a little bit of the Studio Fix mixed with the blush. This will camouflage things perfectly. Once you're complete, use the Fix Plus Stay Over Spray by MAC that's alcohol-free to set your makeup. Take a deep breath before you spray, exhale lightly as you do spray, and hold the spray a little bit back from your face. And finally, I'll use Essence's Wow What a Brow to subtly add a little bit of definition underneath the eye. Adding some finishing touches to the eyebrow, and then we're done. Here is the final result in home studio lighting, and here's how the look translated for a night out. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Leave a comment if there's a look you'd like to see next. Have a great day, and bye for now.